Hi, I'm Kevin Murphy. I'll be teaching astronomy here at Lions Sonnstrom High School this year, as I have done for many, many years in the past. Let's take a look at some of the things that we can expect in our course based on what we've already done. So I've taught this course since its inception in 1995. We've, as a class, have appeared in Astronomy Magazine. We've traveled to a variety of places around the country, including New Mexico, for the 2012 annular eclipse. That's the Ring of Fire kind of eclipse. We've taken multiple excursions, maybe a dozen, I forget, to Arizona to see the sights of Arizona, the astronomy sites of Arizona. We have brought on telescopes, remotely controlled telescopes, because it turns out that nowadays most astronomy is done via computer to a remote telescope. It's just much easier to control the telescope from a comfortable control room that's not up at the top of a mountain where it could be cold and windy. So we'll do that. We have also just a few years ago now, I guess, traveled. We went downstate to see the Great American Solar Eclipse. That was a fantastic experience. A little insight, there's another one coming up in 2024. You won't have to travel quite as far. You can just go to northern Ohio and still see. And finally, what we definitely will talk about today there's the college credit component to this course. Here's an example of something you might expect your son or daughter to do this year. This is our telescope in Chile. We also have the remote telescopes in Australia. And then over here is a sample of some student work. This was a picture. This is M16, Messier 16, sometimes called the Eagle Nebula. The Hubble Space Telescope is taking pictures of just this little portion right here, sometimes called the Pillars of Creation. Beautiful, beautiful. Several hours worth of processing time in there, but we'll have an opportunity to do things like that this year. Let's spend a little bit of time talking about the college credit. The first thing I need to tell you is that there's no particular hurry. This course, as college credit, is taken in the spring term, and for that reason, registration doesn't occur until October. So we've got some time to talk about it. We'll take a little bit of time in September and October to fill the students in as to what that means, and you'll be getting some more information sent home as to what it entails, the registration fee, which is relatively minimal, and what that means. Now, it is offered through Moraine Valley Community College, where I also teach both physics and astronomy, just like I do here at LT. But just because it's a Moraine Valley community course, and that's where you would get the credits from, doesn't mean you can't transfer those credits to many other universities. So here's some banners that my former students have sent me. All of these schools took Moraine Valley's credit, transferred it to these particular schools. How it transfers depends. I know both Illinois, here's my hands gone, Illinois, and over here, Wisconsin, students get full credit. They get Astronomy 100, 4-credit lab science class Astronomy 100. Illinois State gives it as a general elective 3-credit class. And that's how they choose to deal with it. But all these schools give it in some way. And depending on your son or daughter's intended major, it may be their last class. I know I've had a number of students, a half dozen or so students, head to Marquette for business or a variety of things where they only have a requirement of 1 science class for that particular major, and astronomy took care of that. So they don't have to take a science class while at college, if they choose not to. Of course, I would hope that as a science teacher, they would continue to take science classes, but at least it gets them out of doing it if they need to. Let me share with you what you can expect your son or daughter to be doing in our class. So we have 6 units throughout the whole year. So this is a semester-long course for the college. We stretch it out to the entire year. So we have some extra time to do some things. We'll do 3 projects in 3 units with projects in the first semester and 3 units and projects in the second semester. While we do this, here are some of the things that we have. Every day that we meet, there's some assignment. We'll meet virtually, in other words, We'll meet together synchronously, as we like to say, at the same time, and we'll go over some stuff. Often these activities, just in case you're concerned, I'll send the students off. Sometimes we come back together, sometimes we don't, sometimes we stay the entire time. So it really depends on that activity. Keeping in mind that this is a college level course, at least we teach it that way, whether you take it for college credit or not. It's a lot of independent time, and I'm going to give the students, while we're remote learning, time in that 75-minute block to take care of a lot of things. So there you can see it. Now, all of these things are for practice. These things are not meant to affect their grade. Grades are dependent on basically these projects. So we have 6 projects and 1 general knowledge test when the course is all finished. So a project may entail, for example, taking that color image and doing a relatively good job of it, because that involves knowing what to look for, aiming the telescope, doing the processing, knowing the exposure time for what it is, all sorts of things. They'll send it to me, I'll look at it, maybe suggest some revisions, send it back. They can send it back to me for an improved grade. So we have back and forth 6 projects, and then 1 general knowledge test. It's basically an agreed upon set of skills and ideas that all Illinois schools, colleges that teach astronomy have agreed upon. So I have to follow that for this course to be able to transfer. It's guaranteed to go to any public university in Illinois. So that's 1 general knowledge test. And again, they get to redo that if they want. When we're all done, with these units, it's simply this. If you have 4 more, so we have 7 grades, 4 more A's, no more than 1 C, you get an A. Then B's are something similar. For the college credit, all you need, there's no AP test, there's no test, you simply need a C or better to get college credit. And then that grade goes on your college transcript. Whether or not you transfer that grade to the college, that's up to the college. And again, as we get to the end of the year, we'll talk more about the transferring of the college credit. So like I said, I've been here for a long time. So I picked out this yearbook from 1995. That was the year we started this course. As you can see, there I am. You see me? Yeah. Here's a little bit bigger picture of me. Yeah. I'm happy I still have all the hair. It's just not quite as long. Actually, this was the beginning of the year. And by the end of the year, it was even longer. So time flies. Time flies. I've been lucky to be here at LT for 30 years. 30 years. This being my last year. It's my 35th year in the classroom. So we'll move on into some other things. But I got enough in the tank for one more time, because I've had some fantastic life-altering experiences with the students who have come through this program. I do not know what we're going to get to do because of the conditions right now. I sure hope that we get to come back to the classroom. I sure hope we get to take some trips. I guess we'll just see. That said, please don't hesitate to contact me if you have any comments, questions, or concerns about the course. It's my pleasure to have your sons and daughters in my class this last year.